guys, this is Siri from Siri Tutor Blogs. Today we are going to look into one of the interview questions for business analyst. The question is, could you please clarify the development methodology, and are you following a fully agile approach or a hybrid model? So for this question, this is how I formulated my answer. Let's get started. So, in my organization at FinTech, we follow hybrid model where the requirements are initially gathered in a structured and waterfall-like approach, and then the development and delivery is executed using Agile. So, as a business analyst, my role and I play a key role in across the entire life cycle, starting from the requirements to the final sign off. So let me give you some background about the agile and waterfall, what it does mean. So waterfall is something like doing the things in step by step process, one after the other without going back. There is no going back there. But in agile, it's like developing a small piece and keep improving it and make necessary adjustments as we go. So this is the difference between agile and waterfall. So let's get started with the different phases of life cycle. So the first stage in the first phase in the life cycle is requirement gathering phase, where we follow waterfall like approach, where I start my process by interviewing the stakeholders, organizing jade and workshops, reviewing the current process flow, and understanding the current workflow. So the focus here is understanding the business goal and the compliance and legal needs. So here the problem definition is, as the fintech wants to enhance the CCC reporting. CCC stands for, by the way, in our company it's called as Commerce Control Center. It's a reporting system which allows the merchant to filter the transaction based on the LOBs. LOB stands for line of business. So the next phase in the life cycle is high level documentation. Again, this is waterfall like approach, where I create BRDs, FRDs, and process flow diagrams like as is flow and to be flow, and I make sure the business rules are all correct. And uh, and this is the clear foundation before the agile execution begins. The next one in our thing is converting the requirements into the agile artifacts. So so for that, um, I break down the requirements into epic features, user stories, and acceptance criteria. Let me give you some definitions for some terms. The epic means it's a bigger business problem, and feature is like teams. So epic is it cannot be completed within one sprint, so it has to be split. It's splitted across multiple teams within the organization. And feature is something like team owns a functional capability, and it is under the epic there will be different features. And user story is a smaller deliverable requirement, and acceptance criteria is the condition for successful requirement. And um, and then dependency is something like how one feature or API relies on other another. So these are the flows, and let me give you one example for user story and acceptance criteria for our problem definition, which we have just spoke. Uh, so accept user story is something like when a merchant wants to filter the transaction based off the LOBs, um, line of business. So this is how I came up with my user story definition, and the use acceptance criteria for that is The user selects the line of business from the drop down. The line of business can be a retail, grocery, restaurant, banking, or e-commerce application. I mean, not the application of business, sorry. And then the system will display the transaction data based on the selected LOBs. And the next criteria would be like the transaction data has to be refreshed within every 5 seconds. And there is an option to import and export the transaction data using CSV or PDF. And then allowing only authorized users to view the transaction data. These are the example sample acceptance criteria that we came up with. And then in our life cycle, the next phase is backlog refinement. So once so all these until here, it is all waterfall. From backlog refinement, it's going to be agile approach. So where I work with product owners to prioritize the sprint backlogs to incorporate all the requirements, and I coordinate with developers and testers to ensure they understand the requirements by clarifying all the user stories and identifying the uh, dependencies and ensuring that user stories are clear, testable, and they are ready for sprint planning. From here, it's all agile approach until the final sign off. The final sign off is again waterfall. It is done only once. We don't go back again. So, so in sprint planning here, I work with the developers, I support developers, and I answer to their questions, clarify the business logic, and make sure they understand the expected outcome. And I coordinate with QA to ensure that all the acceptance criteria are testable, and I review the test cases, ensure those test cases have coverage for all the requirements, and I actively participate in all the bug triage meetings where I determine what is expected, what is a defect, what is an expected behavior, and for example, if the LOBs are when an LOB is selected and it displayed invalid transaction data. So, as a business analyst, I confirm the expected data, expected behavior there. The next in the life cycle, the phase is UAT validation, where I support the business users and help them to validate the real world scenarios, and I ensure and make sure that the business delivered solution, the solution whichever the developers delivered is meeting the business objectives. And I work with compliance and legal team to ensure there is a data accuracy and there is security and regulatory compliant. um, and then once we have UAT final successful completion, I get a formal sign off from the product owners, business stakeholders, and compliance and legal team. That's it, guys. This is how I have formulated my answer. I hope you enjoy my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And all these questions are real-time client interview questions that I am sharing with you guys, where I attended these client interviews, and I'm preparing myself for the interview. I hope this will benefit for you, and I hope you will enjoy this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.